You can see that the drier air is finally punching in on the west side. We're starting to get a few breaks in this snow shield here, and this will continue to move to the east. We have to wait for this to go by, and then we will have improving conditions, and that is going to be in the early morning hours, and it's going to be windy all the while. So let's take a look at where that second surge is. We have been watching the 5,000-foot wind regime, and that is because this is an elevated warm layer that has been the culprit for changing over and giving us this sleet. And the sleet has been very stagnant across southern and central Ohio. As a matter of fact, southern Ohio, parts of it, in an ice storm warning. Columbus got drilled with freezing rain today, and if you go on the ODOT cams, a lot of the ODOT cams have icicles on the camera. It's pretty wicked. But you can see this circulation right here. That's the wave. We were watching this in Texas. Even we watched this come onshore on the West Coast on Sunday and Monday. So this is that second wave. As this is going to continue to move to the northeast, all this wind is going to start to switch and then come in from the north. And when that happens, that will that'll put an end to any chance of having that mix. But the problem is now we're going to put the snow down. And I'll zoom in a little bit. I think this is pretty slick how this works. Let me put it in motion here and we'll take you through time, and you can see how that wind begins to kind of turn around as these, as the low, the 500 millibar, or excuse me, the 5,000-foot low, the second wave starts to change. So there's your northeast wind. So now we are all in snow at 3 a.m. And then finally by about 6, 7, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., now we've got a very pronounced north wind all the way through northern Ohio. So all snow and blowing snow and really cold. We have a cold night on tap here. So the snow rates will remain where they are as we go through the rest of the evening. Once we get toward midnight, that's when we should see improving conditions from west to east. In the meantime, it is still snowing and it is still blowing, and that is a bad thing. So we'll have that dry air punching in from the west. This is great news. It's going to start to taper things off a little bit, but I think we'll continue to have snow showers farther to the south until that low goes by. Then by tomorrow morning, we may have some kind of residual snow that moves through. I don't think this is going to be anything that really puts the kibosh on morning plans, but it may add another couple inches. And because we already have snow blowing and drifting, that's going to be a complicating factor. But look at these temperatures in the teens, wind chills below zero tomorrow morning. So definitely a chill. We'll hold on to a few flurries as we even get into the afternoon, but then by evening, we're done. So then it becomes a news story, and Betsy will get some sleep. But we do have the possibility even to see sunset tomorrow, so that'll be some good news. The bad news is that's also going to present some much colder air into our forecast for Saturday. I do think we will have many areas Saturday morning that go below zero or down towards single digits, and that's not including the wind chill. We're still locked in on this 8 to 11, and I know so many people are saying we got way more than that. Well, this blowing and drifting is really messing things up. If you haven't left your house, you really don't have a good perspective as to how the blowing and drifting is going. I get it. Go for it. But it is definitely a storm that is still with us, and it will be with us. This is kind of the most important thing here. This area is to 13. I think we still have the chance to have some areas where they're going to clock in with 10, 11, 12-inch reports and possibly even 13-inch reports. Out toward Huron, we've gotten some reports of 10 inches of snow that have fallen. Fairview Park, west of Cleveland, there was reports in West Park neighborhood of 9 inches of snow a couple hours ago. So that means that we're still stacking it up. So we try to get you a range here, and I think most places will fall in this 8 to 11, but we will have areas that are up to that 13 and maybe even 14 inches, but I think 13 should be about capped. Farther south, where we had that mix today, and this line is rough. It's been a crazy day of moving this line within a 15-mile width. It's just, it's trying to split hairs. I get sticky about it, but we have had a couple inches of sleet that have fallen, and then on top of that sleet, we will have snow with total accumulations of the 5 to 8. So that's all the sleet, all the snow together. And then farther south where we have yet to make that transition, I still think we're looking at about 2 to 5, probably more toward the 5 than the 2. It all depends on how quickly this fluffs up. And the fluff factor can't be understated with this. As we get colder, it's fluffier. And so that fluff is really what will pile up the most. Our storm impacts remain unchanged. High impacts on the roads still tonight, still tomorrow because of the blowing and drifting snow. Air travel, I think now we're going to start to move from Cleveland Hopkins and Akron Canton Airport having high impacts to other places having high impacts, and we have to try and navigate that whole air system. So our airports are going to be trying to get folks in and out, catching up. But the East Coast storm, remember this storm is going northeast toward Boston and New York and Philly and all that, and I think that it could complicate things for the air travel tomorrow. School closings, you're seeing them there at the bottom of the screen. They're pretty much the same amount of school closings for tomorrow as what we had today. I think the superintendents are making the call very early. We still have a chance for some power outages, but I don't necessarily know that it's going to be very widespread. I think at this point they would be more isolated power outages than anything, and hopefully these crews are going to get back online. I'm telling you, the power crews are just phenomenal at getting stuff back and getting you connected. But if you, by chance, have an opportunity to wave or say hello or thank you to the plow drivers, I would do that. They are really putting in a lot of time on this storm and really trying hard to keep up with it. And they're going to get back to where they get ahead of it. But for now, they're fighting a losing battle. It'll get better tomorrow, though. We have improving conditions tomorrow. Great weekend headed our way. We'll give you the latest on all of those details coming up on Channel 3 News at 11. But until then, thanks so much for staying with us here on our platforms today, friends. I'm actually going to go on Facebook Live, my page, and I'm going to go walk around outside. I haven't been outside except for a very short walk here, and I just want to go out and experience the storm because I've only seen it on radar so far, so I'll be excited to do that. So join me there. So thank you again. Stay safe, stay warm, and I'll see you at 11.